Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the Arcane Devlogs. It's been quite a while since I've made one of these, partly due to a bit of bad time management combined with holidays in New Zealand, which is actually the footage you're seeing now. But I'm back now and hopefully everything will resume normally from here on out. Even though there's been no devlogs, I've still made quite a bit of progress, so let's go over that now. So the past week or so, I've been working on getting the attacking done efficiently so I can speed up the swings with commands and not have everything go out of sync. So that's finally finished and it's a lot more stable now. I've also done some work with basic monster AI, which is this ogre that you're seeing at the moment. At the moment I don't have any hit registration implemented, so nothing happens when I hit it. But I've also done some work on the skill tree, so as you can see here, I have a few test skills in the adapt tree which you can unlock with these points at the bottom. We can also switch over to the elemental and necromancy skill trees, but there's nothing much going on in here except for the change in background. So that's pretty much all the progress so far. Today I plan on getting the hit registry going so the player can actually kill the ogre. Alright, so the hit registry is all done now. I've also added crits for each of the attacks. If it's a well-timed light attack which is charged for a short amount of time, then there's a guaranteed crit. Heavy attacks, which actually don't have a visual at the moment, give much higher damage amounts and have a chance of having a critical. The range at the moment on hitting the ogre is pretty inaccurate and still needs a bit of work, so I might get to that next. So it's Friday today and I've been working on getting the hitboxes to be a bit more accurate. I've also added a health bar for when you attack entities, which goes away after a few seconds, as well as a flashing effect when you deal damage. A bit of a late start today because I was up last night getting the elements for the arid generation complete. Now it's time to get them all generated together in the arid biome. So I've just finished doing the background vegetation. I need to swap out their ferns for their actual desert variants, but other than that the cacti is looking pretty good. I've also done the deadwood object generation in the foreground, which will provide a source of wood in this arid biome for the player. I still have to do the generation for the background sandstone rocks, so I'll update you guys once that's all finished off. So I've completely finished the arid biome now. I've got the sandstone in the background and it's time to move on to the plains biome. So after that I'll get all the biomes infinitely generating in the world and we should be able to move on to a save game object. So the past few days I've been doing a bit of behind the scenes cleanup with a few classes, but today I'm going to finish off the last biome generation, which is the plains biome. So I've finished off the plains biome generation. The grouping with these vegetation clusters are a bit off, so I'll have to give that a bit of a tweak later on. But that's basically all of the basic biomes complete. I'm about to move on to infinite world generation, but I think I might grind that out next week. Hopefully I can get a bit of a start on it by the end of the devlog, but at the moment I'm going to do a bit of gameplay work with the entity item drops, and just some general resources that will spawn throughout the world. Yesterday I briefly touched on the entity drops when they are killed, so as you can see here I have a line of ogres, and when they're each killed they have a random chance of dropping a combination of items from a pool with various weights. So it's Thursday today and I've actually gone ahead and completed the world generation in its somewhat entirety. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be, but I still have a few basic performance things to update. So as you can see here, the player spawns in the center of the starting biome, surrounded by two buffer biomes on each side. When the player crosses into the next biome, the biome after it will then be generated. However, this is a bit inefficient at the moment and I'll have to figure out how to not spawn everything at the same time, so there's no immediate lag when crossing over and spawning that next biome. So that's all for this devlog. Sorry I haven't been posting much lately. As I said before, we should be back on schedule for at least the next few months. But yeah, if you enjoyed the devlog, then be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one.